Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you guys how to render your Sims in Blender 2.9. So first you want to go to the Sims and make your Sim. So this is my Sim I'm using. So once you're done, making your Sim, you go ahead and just come up to save household and save household to your library. And then we're going to press the check mark and place your sim anywhere you want. It doesn't matter where you place them. I just have them all in this empty lot. And then you want to come up to the three dots, the options menu, and then press save as and add a new save. And it doesn't matter what the name is. You can go ahead and X out of your game. So exit out. And now you want to open something called The Sims 4 Ripper. I'll have it downloaded. I have the download link down below so you guys can download it, but you're going to need the Ripper. So wait till that opens. It's gonna, if you have CC in your game, it's gonna like pop up these. That's okay, just press OK. Okay, so once it's done loading in, you want to come up to select, and then if your date modified is already organized to newest to latest, then it should be the first one. So I'm gonna check the date. So today's 9/15/2021. So I'm gonna click the first one, and then it's gonna load in all your sims from that save file. Okay, so now you press your sim's name over here, and then it's gonna say working, and it might take a minute to load in depending on how much CC you have on your sim. Now you want to come over here, and when you first download Ripper, it'll automatically put it on single mesh and texture. You don't want it to be on that, so we're going to go ahead and press solid and glass mesh and textures if it's not on that. And then after that, you just come up here and press save as a DAE file, and it's going to tell you where you where you want to put it in your file. I put mine in my documents. I don't put it in my saves where it automatically thinks it wants to go. So go ahead and save it in your documents. Now it's done saving, you can go ahead and X out of Ripper, and now what you want to do is go into Blender. So I'll have the download link for that. We're going to use Blender 2.9. This is the newest Blender, so this is the one you want to use. And you want to go ahead, when you first come in, they're going to give you a camera, cube, and a light. So we're going to go ahead and delete both of them. All of them, just by pressing delete on our keyboard. So once that's deleted, come up to file, and then go down to import, and then go to the first option that says Collada default DAE. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And then it's going to open your file. So you're going to go ahead and go to where you saved your sim, and then it should say your sim's name DAE. So we're going to go ahead and press. Okay, so now when your sim is in, she's going to look all gray, and she's not going to look how she did earlier. So this is how you fix that. So you want to come up to where you see layout, modeling, sculpting, UV editing, all that. You want to press shading, and it's going to take you to this scene, and she's going to have her color, but you can see like her hair and her lashes, like they're all messed up. So now this is how you fix that. So you want to go ahead and click your sim anywhere, and it opens this section. So what you want to do, I like to move that out the way, is just copy off of what I'm doing now. So this is going to help bring all your stuff back on your sims. So I'm going to go ahead and focus the screen on this, because this is what we need to be looking at. What you're going to do now is connect these lines to where it needs to be. So you want to go to specular, and then go to color, and then place that on the specular under printable BSDF. And then you want to press Shift A in your keyboard, or you can go up here and press Add, whatever one. But I think Shift A is just faster. So you want to go to shader, and you want to press Mix Shader and put it right in between principal BSDF and material output. And then bring the BSDF down to the last shader, because it's going to automatically connect to the the first shader, but you need it to be on the last one. And then press Shift A again, press shader. This time we're going to go down to transparent BSDF. And you can go ahead and place that anywhere. So you want to connect this BSDF to this first shader. And then you want to come over to base color and connect alpha to FAC. Okay, so you can see like a little bit of her colors coming back, but not enough. So we're going to come over to material properties, and we're going to scroll down till we see blend mode and shadow mode. And material properties is this little soccer ball right here. It's like the second to last. So you want to go down, press the drop down arrow, and select alpha hash for both of the options. So blend mode and shadow mode should both now say alpha hash. So she still doesn't look good now. So this is how you fix everything else. So you want to come over to the scene collections tab, which is this right here, and you want to come to this drop down arrow, and then you're going to see you're selected on your main sim, Courtney Mayer, or whatever your sim's name is. So you want to go ahead and go to your sim where it says _glass. Okay, so we can go ahead and put that back now. So now you want to do the same exact thing that you did to now you're going to do the exact same thing that you just did to the glass one. I'm still going to go over it just in case. We're just going to do it again. So you do the same exact thing. Specular color goes to specular principal BSDF, and you already see like her hair coming back. And then Shift A, go to shader and press mix shader and put it in between principal BSDF and material output. Bring the BSDF down to the second shader, and then bring base color alpha to FAC. Press Shift A again, shader, and then transparent BSDF. Put it anywhere you want. Bring this BSDF to the first shader option, and then come over to material properties. Scroll down until you see blend mode and shadow mode, and turn both of them on alpha hashed. Okay, so now if we get this out the way, you can see that your sim is how she looked earlier in the game, and she looks normal. So now, since we can confirm that she's back to her normal state, we're going to click back to layout where we were at in the beginning. So up here where we change, we're going to go back to this window, which is layout, and she's going to still look gray. But how you fix that is you want to come to these viewport shading options right here. You want to change out the second one and go to the third one. Okay, so now you want to pose your sim, because you don't want her to just be standing here making a random pose. So now we're going to go ahead and find a pose that you want your sim to be doing. Okay, I think I'm going to do this pose, her poses. So we're going to go ahead and download it and just keep it in our downloads. Don't put it in your game studio. Okay, so open the Sims 4 Studio. I'll have that linked down below where you can download the Sims 4 Studio, and you want to go to My Projects and then bring in your pose that you just downloaded. And then they're going to automatically put you on pose pack. You want to click clips. Okay, so go from here to here, and then choose the pose you want, because most of the time the creator will give you more than one pose. So go ahead and choose the pose you want. We're not going to do all in one. You're just going to do a single pose. Okay, so since the boxes are really little, this is where I like to look on the website and see them up close. So I think I want my sim to be doing this pose, like the hair behind the ear. So we're going to go ahead and, I think it's this one. So we're gonna go ahead and choose number 7, and then make sure it's on dot blend, and then press export, and then save it wherever you want. I'm gonna save mine just in my documents, and then I'm gonna name it pose for this tutorial. So now when you have it saved, we're gonna open up Blender again. You want to go up to file and then press append, not open, press append, and then you want to go to where you have your pose and just press append again, and then this time you want to go all the way to action, press the action folder, append, and then press the pose and then append. So now what you want to do is open up 2 windows on your screen, and then you do that by going to the corner of this window, your current window, and then just dragging it. So now you have 2 windows, one in the middle, and then one, oh, not one in the middle, one on this side and then one on this side, okay? So now you want to come up to your editor type on whatever side. You can do it on this side or this side, but I like to do it on this side. So you want to go to animation, and then under animation you want to do non-linear animation. So one side should be on non-linear animation and one should just be on regular 3D viewport. So now what you want to do, you see all these dots on your Sim's face, they're kind of like spikes on your Sim's face. You want to go ahead and press them, and then you want to press I on your keyboard and press location, rotation, scale. And then they're going to give you this orange line and then a blue tab. You want to go ahead and press the drop down menu from the orange line, and don't click anything, just press delete on your keyboard, and so that line's going to be deleted. And you want to press add action strip, and then you're going to see your pose pack, and you want to just click it, and so now your sim is going to pose. So you can go ahead and X out of non-linear animations now because you don't really need it, and just get one tab. So now we have that. We're going to go ahead and go to file, and we're going to save this file. So I'm going to save it under documents again. You want to find your scene, okay? So we're going to go ahead and X out of this, and we're going to find our scene. Okay, so now I want to find your Blender scene. I'm going to use one by Amelia Jade X on her Patreon. End up using this one. It'll still be linked down below. Okay, so now my scene is done downloading. Now you want to go ahead and just open it in Blender. And so now that's going to open and change the layout. So it might look gray. Mine is still loading in. I'm going to change it to how we did the first time. We changed it to viewport shading. Now since we have the Blender scene in here, we're going to bring our sim, okay? So we're going to go ahead and go up here to file, press append, and then go to where you saved your sim. Mine is in my documents, final sim, and append, and then you want to go to object, and then select all these here and just press append. So now your sim is going to be here. She's like all the way down here, so we want to move her. So to move her without making her look crazy, because if you move her without doing this step, she's going to look a hot mess and she's going to be really deformed. So you want to come down to rig and tap that, okay? And then come over here to move, over here where you see like all the sections to do stuff, and move her up using the blue arrow, or move her wherever you need. So now she moves as a whole, and she's not going to be all stretched out, because if you skip this step, then she's going to look a hot mess. So as you can see, she's like a little too small for like this scene, you know, she's like a little sim, so you want to make her bigger. So we're going to go to scale. Sometimes you don't need to do this step. We're going to go to scale down here, and we're going to go ahead and just stretch her out using scale. And I don't know where I want her to go yet, so I think I'm going to just bring her over here. So I'm gonna bring her over here. Oops. The controls for Blender, it was hard at first, but you have to kind of get the hang of that. These are like the main controls. You can rotate, you can scale, which makes things bigger, wider, or you can transform. I kind of just stick with the first three. I don't really use transform. Inside though. Oh, see, look, this is what happens if you don't press rig. She turns into that. So go ahead and undo. Make sure you always select your rig before you move her, or that happens, and it's really scary. So as you can see, like, our scene doesn't really look to like how it looked in, you know, it doesn't look like this. So what you do for that, we're gonna go ahead and open up 2 of these windows again. Okay, and you want to go to this little TV. It's called Render Properties, and make sure it's on cycles. When you first start, it'll probably be on Eevee, but you want to change it to cycles. Okay, so it's not going to do nothing until you come over here to where you see your viewport shadings. You want to change it to the last one, and it's going to load, and it's going to look really, really grainy. Okay, but you'll see all like your stuff loading in now. How you get rid of the grain. So this is how you get rid of all the graininess and like all the noise. So you can stay in the render properties because it's still going to be here. You want to go down to this drop down arrow that says denoising, and you want to turn on render, make sure that has a check, and also turn on viewport. So now you see your sim, she looks really good. So now you want to get to the last step now. So we came a long way. So go to your camera. My scene already came with the camera, but I'm going to show you guys how to put one in anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So how you get a camera is you go ahead and press add, and then you go down to camera, and then that's how you add your camera in. So mine spawned it right there, which is a weird place. So now you want to come over to this scene where she's all, you know, looking good in the background and stuff. So you want to come over to you have the camera now. You want to come over here to this scene and press the camera button right here. So now when you move your camera, you know exactly where it's going and where to move it. So my camera's like really, really small. So I'm going to move mine right in front of her. You can edit wherever you want, like the picture to, like however you want the picture to look, basically. So if you want to change the size of your camera, and if you don't want it to be taken as a square, you can come over here to output properties. Yeah, change the aspect Y and X. So I want mine to be kind of more, since I want to use this as the thumbnail, I kind of want it to be a little bit more wider than like a square. So I'm going to have mine like that. And you can also move your camera by going to object data properties and shifting it where you want. But I kind of like moving it manually like this. You're going to go up here to render and press render image, or you can press F12. Okay, so now our image is rendering. It's going to tell you up here like how much time it took and how much time is remaining and how much memory and how much tiles got done and how much is left. So I'll be back once I have my full image. Okay, so this is my final image. There's like a couple things I don't really like about this picture, but I'm just gonna leave it at that for the sake of the tutorial. Now you just press save as and go ahead and just save as like final sim beach day or something like that, or like whatever you want. I'm just going to save in my documents again, and it's just going to save the image, and you can go ahead and go to your documents and you can open your image, and that's pretty much it. You can edit it however you want after that, but that's pretty much how you render. You can do this with any scene and any sim. I know people run into some issues when they get curly hair. I still do. I don't know how to fix that. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it. if this helped, I'll answer any questions down below if you still have questions. Okay, that's it. Bye.